Anna,
I'm Gabi.
and we're part of the BraveBots team. And we're back with a new episode of Brave Around the World. Today we have the honor to be on the podcast with the Vertex Robotics team. How are you feeling today?
Very good. Thank you for having us. We're excited to just talk and talk about robotics. So thank you.
Thank you too for accepting our invite. So let's get into the questions. First question: How many members does your team have, and how is it organized?
Sure. So our team has 15 members. So we're a full FTC team, and we have three different subgroups. So that's outreach, programming, and mechanical. All of the members have to do outreach, but the outreach group is basically like three people who organize all of the events and like coordinate what outreach we're going to be doing. And all of the members take part in those events. Do you want to talk about mechanical? Yeah, so even for our outreach members, they're more of coordinators, and a lot of the times they're able to also take in like a hands-on technical role. So just because you're doing outreach, I think a lot of times in FTC that can be overlooked within the team. We want to make sure that we include those members. So I'm a mechanical member, and what that means is we host our own meetings at separate times as a subgroup to specifically work on that. And working within a smaller group makes it easier for us to like get ideas around and really collaborate.
Yeah, on programming, we do a very similar thing where we have like our individual subgroup meetings, and we generally divide our like programming tasks. They're pretty like clear cut into pairs of two approximately.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's very different to our system, but it's a very great idea. I feel like it works really well.
Yeah.
What do you guys do for your subgroups?
We have like four subgroups. We have events, editorial, programming, and engineering.
Mhm.
Events, it's pretty much self-explanatory. We do events. The editorial does a few flyers for some things, and the notebook. The programming does the programming, and then the engineering does kind of the technical parts of their work.
Awesome.
So the next question: What is the process of accepting new members into the team?
So every year we open applications since we have seniors graduate out. We're a school team. And so students can apply, and really it doesn't matter like your experience. It's just like your passion for robotics. So it doesn't matter if you've been on a team before. We really just want members who are committed and really excited about FTC because we think that's really what makes a good team. So really anyone can apply from our school and then we accept them and we just have a short interview to make sure that they're interested and they really match the vibe of the team.
That's really great. That's a great way to accept others. The next question is, how do you balance robotics with personal life? Because we know how hard that can be.
Yeah, so at our school we have a lot of work, but we basically kind of our mindset is like oh it's more like work like kind of objective based, right? So we generally not don't leave until we get whatever we set out for that day done, and then we just kind of go back to our dorm room and then start grinding out homework.
Yeah. We live in a boarding school, so if we have free time, we like to do robotics. And so that's kind of like where our passion is. And then when we have free time, we do our work, but we also like to hang out as a team because we're all like close friends.
That's really great to like live together and solve problems together whenever you want to.
Yeah.
What were the biggest challenges you faced along your journey in FTC?
Hmm. Let me see. I don't know.
Coordination.
Yeah. Do you want to say that?
Yeah, like we have a lot of like logistics like hurdles, whether it would be like part orders or even like like last year our team went to World, so that was like a huge like obstacle was like figuring out World's coordination.
I think there's a lot of like details that we as students have to be in charge of because we run our club. So we have to like think about transportation and like trying to find transportation and then like making sure all of our parts get ordered. So I think really just like managing those technical aspects of robotics is kind of challenging.
Yeah, we get that. We get that too. What are the most recent concepts you've applied in your projects?
Mm, Well, like concepts sort of with relating to teamwork, I think just communication. So we try to like stay very like open to one another, sharing our ideas in whatever way we can, and that really helps get like the best ideas to the surface. And then I don't know if that answered your question. If you meant like concepts like an idea or more like some like mechanical aspect, yeah.
No, in general, like things you've applied that you wanted to apply and you just did, and that helped your team. So communication is a great answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
How do you integrate your robots into the real world?
It's rubbish.
Wait, could you repeat the question? Sorry.
How do you integrate your robots into the real world?
Into the real world?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you? I guess so, right? We try to take our robot to different locations and like show kids mostly at festivals and things like that. So most recently, we're an hour away from Boston. So we went to the Cambridge Science Festival, which is in Boston. It's hosted at MIT, and we just let people like see our robot. We really want them to be able to like understand how robotics works and how it is that like even they can make their own robot. So we also let kids drive our robot and just demo what we do as a club, and hopefully like that inspires people to join robotics. I'm not sure if that like answers the question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
exactly the question. How do
yeah.
you
Right.
interact with the community through your robot?
Mhm.
How do you address ethical dilemmas related to robots, such as artificial intelligence and job automation? Because like we know people um, tend to ask like, do you think robots will take our jobs and things like this? Like, how do
Yeah.
you inform people?
We do want to talk about
Yeah.
that.
Well, I think like on a scale, like in terms of FTC, we don't really have those sort of issues, right? We don't really deal with like it taking jobs as whose job are you can take with this robot. It's a competition robot, right? But on like a larger scale, I definitely agree that like AI, and like taking jobs, that sort of thing does it is a real concern. But I think it's also like the core values that we gain from first kind of help us make the most like ethical decisions, right? Like those like the first core values, great professionalism. I think can kind of help like lead the alumni of the program to like making the smarter decisions like as executives.
Yeah. I think it also really teaches you empathy, like being on a team, right? So, of course, like robots taking jobs is a concern. And like it's something that I think even as students we think about, as well as like AI, because like ChatGPT and all of these things that our teachers are like, don't use it. But I think like we learn empathy and also just like gracious professionalism and other skills that remind us like what the best course of action to take is, but I really think it depends like on the situation. Right. And using technology not as a replacement, but as a sort of supplement to what we already have.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Honestly, you're really good at this.
Thank you.
What are the biggest challenges you encountered in creating robots, and how did you overcome them?
Biggest difficulties. Um, I think something unique to our team is sort of that we try to plan the entire robot in CAD before we actually build it. But even when you do that, there can still be challenges like face that you didn't previously realize. So I think like it's kind of vague, but in that sense, realizing when things don't work can be disheartening. But we always try to like go back to where we started, go back to square one, and work it out again as a team. Yeah.
That's great. That's really organized. Um, what award do you aim for this season?
What awards?
What are we aiming for?
Why not?
I think as a team, we're kind of hoping to go to Houston again. That's a really great experience. We got to meet so many teams. We got to have like a really fun time. Like putting a robot to like the absolute like challenge, the greatest area basically. And it'd be a great opportunity to go there again. I think.
Yeah. It would be cool.
Yes, that would be.
How do you see the impact of robots in our society and daily life?
The impact of robots? Well, I think we're seeing it more and more. Like robot waiters, when they take out your food, or even at the airport. Like as someone who's on a robotics team, I see like so much potential for robots to do like so many more things in daily life. And I think like maybe when we're older, it'll definitely be like more integrated, and like robots will be doing things like in offices even. I don't know if anyone has something to add. Yeah, I think like hopefully we'll see more like advancement on that front. I think it would be really cool.
Yes.
Um, what are your main sources of inspiration in robot development, and are there any teams or projects that influence you?
Yes, I think we are definitely influenced by a lot of like the Hall of Fame FTC teams. So like when we look at ideas, we're always looking to like our predecessors and really famous teams. So definitely the past teams and even current teams. Like we love looking at like the FTC Discord and seeing what other people are working on. I think that's always super cool. And then in terms of like for me personally, seeing my teammates working so hard on like their ideas, working so hard like so we can get this done, really inspires me to just go in like and continue pursuing that journey. Yeah. How do we involve young people in our community into robotics?
Yes.
Yeah, so every week we go, every other week we go to the Harris Children's Center, which is a nearby children's center to our school, and we actually volunteer and show them STEM activities, and it's really fun. Like for our team, everyone has to go. We all get to like see, like these kids learning, and they're so smart, even though they're so young. They have so many good questions, and it's really great to just be able to teach them like about STEM, about robotics. If we ever bring the robot, they get really excited. So I hope that like inspires them to maybe pursue STEM in the future. Additionally, we also like sponsor an FLL club at the YMCA, which is like a local like group. And so we teach them like FLL Lego robotics, and that's also really rewarding just to like see them get excited over like the Legos and doing robotics. And it's also similar to how I started doing robotics. So I really think like it's so fun and great to see like them being happy, and I hope it also kind of inspires them to pursue STEM in the future.
Yeah, we also have an FLO team, and I think we see it just as you said. It's very
Yeah.
rewarding to see kids interested in robotics and to see that our team, when we leave, will have people to take care of it. How do you see the future of robotics, and are there any specific technological directions or trends that particularly interest you?
Well, me personally, I'm really interested in like reinforcement learning, right, and how it's being applied to robotics specifically. It's really cool being able to see like robots think for themselves, right? Not just like ChatGPT, but just like physically as well with like movement and stuff like that. That's like particularly interesting to me. But I do think like AI is definitely the forefront in the direction that robotics is turning in for the next few years.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
So we finished our questions, but do you have any other questions for us?
Um, I think we're good. It was really nice to talk to you, and we'll definitely stay in touch. Like if we have more questions, but for now, like thank you so much for having us.
And thank you so much for accepting our invite. So that wraps up today's episode. We thank the Vertex team for joining us and sharing their wonderful stories with us tonight.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Thank
See
you.
you.
Great.
Bye
Bye.
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 Bye.